Okay, so today I want to talk about. I just got finished kind of talking about the good things that I like about the Pixel 9a. But now I kind of want to move on to this is the Pixel 9a. So I just want to quickly talk about. I would say a mixture of the iPhone 16 Pro Max and then also iOS in general, iPhones in general. Um, iPhones are kind of the phones I keep coming back to after I find myself a little bit annoyed by because I film a lot of content for my two channels, this one and then my vlogging channel. It does kind of make me want to, because the iPhone, the recording on the iPhone, there really is no competition in terms of the options we have here in the States. Samsung is pretty okay. I would give them like a solid 7 out of 10, but sometimes they do lack if you're not using an ultra phone. So it's very solid, but if you're not using an ultra phone, it falls short on some things, especially telephoto. When I film things with my S25 Edge at 5x, it doesn't look that great. It looks pretty crappy. Even the ultra wide lens is a little bit you could kind of see it's a little bit funky. So I keep coming back to my iPhone 16 Pro Max because it's very consistent. It's very great in terms of video. And I'll be posting some like oh my god, samples after this, or in a different video. As far as the camera, I think it's pretty solid. But I think it I think Samsung and Pixel cameras, they fare pretty well with the iPhone camera. It's just that the recording on here is at another tier, in my opinion. And this is in terms of iPhones in general. With Samsung, again, you kind of got to get the top tier phone to get the best of the best. Pixel, it's pretty consistently good with camera. But with Pixel's recording, I think it falls short in a lot of places, like Samsung. So that's one of the things I really, really enjoy about the iPhone. Another thing is app availability. I think it was, I forgot which tech podcast I was listening to. They had some developers on and they said it's so much easier to develop apps for iPhone because all their iPhones across the board are identical. In terms of just building software or building apps for them. Whereas with Android, you got Samsung, you got OnePlus, you got Nothing, you got Pixel, you got Motorola. So you got a bunch of different things you gotta prep for in terms of developing apps. I don't know anything about apps. I'm just trying to remember what these guys said on that podcast. So one thing I really enjoy is not only the exclusivity. Oh my god, I can't speak of their apps, but also just their diversity of apps on here. Let me show you guys. 1 second. Oh, actually, I'll start first with this one. This one I really enjoy. If you have an iPhone, I highly recommend this app. It's Flow. It has some really cool. Why does it look like that? Maybe I should zoom in a little bit. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me figure this out 1 second. It's a little bit off on my end. Okay, there it goes. I want to zoom in a little bit. So this is the Flow app. I really enjoy it. It has some pretty cool, oh my god, now I need to zoom back a little bit. Filter options here. I love that it has like a grainy, effect to it. It's one of those apps that you kind of, let me see, let me show you guys. That you kind of need to have on your iPhones just because it kind of gives really good options in terms of colored filters and options for grain. Oh, I have a bunch of photos on here. I forgot. Let me show you guys this video of my dog eating. Very quick. So yeah, so you can see it's like a nice grain with the mixture of warmth here on the filter that I chose. And this app isn't available on Android, on Samsung, on Pixel, nothing. So it's a bit of a bummer switching from iPhone and using these apps that I really enjoy and then coming to Samsung or Pixel and the apps are nowhere to be found because the developers, they don't they don't care to put them on Android, probably because they do so well on iPhone as is. So what's the point? Why spend the extra money to get everything on the competition? And let me show you guys some games that are exclusive to iPhone that I really enjoy. I think a lot of people kind of make fun of Apple Arcade and all that, but they have some pretty good stuff here. Let me show you. What is the one oh shoot, I totally forgot what it's called. Let me see if it's on here. Sorry for the dead air. I'm trying to look for. I forgot what it's called. It's kind of like a Stardew Valley kind of game. Let me see. Something like a Japanese. Yeah, Japanese rule. Yeah, this one. This one is pretty awesome, and it's unfortunate that it's exclusive to iOS, but more exclusive in terms of only being available on Apple Arcade. It's super fun. It's super enjoyable. Very calming, very cozy, and yeah, I think the fact when I'm playing these games on my iPhone or even on my iPad, and then yeah, once again you come to Android and none of these games are to be found or nothing very similar, unless it's like Stardew Valley. Yeah, it's a bit of a bummer that a lot of companies, a lot of developers take the time to make sure the cool things that they develop are only for iPhones, and then, for people not using iPhones, you just gotta hope and wait that these things come to your phone. I don't know. It's a bit of a bummer how things are these days. Everything is so, I guess, divided in terms of pretty cool things. And then another thing I want to talk about in terms of division and exclusivity is accessories. There's so many cool accessories for iPhones, especially cases. This is the Burga case that I really enjoy. I don't like the fact that there's a hole punch for the camera control, but I really enjoy this. I like the case a lot. I think it's very, very nice in terms of feel and look. I love how the gold ring right here. And then OtterBox came out with a cool book series for their iPhone cases, which is pretty nice. None of these of which are available for both Pixel and Samsung. During the holiday, I was like, yeah, let me figure out what I want to get for myself for Christmas. These Burger cases are available for my S25 Edge only, but not for my Pixel 9a. And then these are neither available for Samsung or Pixel. And Casetify, their stuff isn't available for my Samsung, but it's available for my Pixel. So it's kind of a mess in terms of accessories for non-iPhone things, because some companies, they take the time to put out to be equal in terms of Samsung, Google Pixel, and other companies are like, let's just do the second most sold devices out there, which is usually Samsung. I think this is why Burga has a lot of Samsung cases available, not so much for Pixel. And Popsock is like, yeah, screw everyone else, we're just doing iPhones. But this is the Apple official one as well. I put some stickers on it just to kind of keep it cool, keep it smooth. I just want to quickly talk about this is the Desert Titanium. You can't really tell the color here. I think this is the last pretty color on the iPhones. No offense to the Cosmic Orange or the blue. The blue is pretty okay on the 17 Pros. I think the 17s have a lot better color scheme going on with that matcha. But in terms of the Pros, this one is pretty great. I've been enjoying this one, especially when you do a clear case. It's pretty nice. And boy. So I think that's it in terms of accessories and actual like physical hardware stuff. Going back to the software, I think they made some drastic improvements in terms of iOS 17. Except for this, like, you have to be so spot on with the edit button up there. Customize. The tints on the iPhone 16 was like horrendous. I can't believe they even brought that out. I don't understand it. So this is a lot better. Again, it could use some work, but this is still significantly better in terms of the colors available and the transparency, the saturation, and all of that. So let me just kind of briefly go through this. Oops. But I usually use the clear, and depending on my background, I use dark or light. Sometimes, oops. See, I hate how you kind of like have to be spot on with things, otherwise it just cancels everything out. For my background right now, I have the dark mode on just because it's a little bit easier to see. I remember when it first came out, iOS 17 with the liquid glass, it was like hard to see anything. And they fixed that pretty immediately. I think there's still an option in the settings where you can make it a lot more glass like transparency instead of like the cloudy glass that we have right now. So that's a good thing. Like I mentioned in my Pixel 8a video where I kind of briefly talked about iOS over there. As much as I hate the separated quick panel and the notification panel, I like the fact that everything is so present here, whereas on the Pixels and the Samsungs, everything is more of a up here, and you gotta do like a double pull down to get the most used brightness, whereas with this, you just go right here. Now, if there was an option to take away this stupid search function and pull down on the screen and have the quick panel, that would be great. That would be fantastic. But I think as is, I think it's pretty great as it, for what it is now. It definitely needs improvement. But I do enjoy the fact that you could kind of like resize things and add a bunch of things that aren't first party. I think, right? No, stop it. Let me just double check. It could be just could be making things up. Yeah, okay, you got Instagram. Okay. Just want to make sure. I wasn't entirely sure. I never needed to add third-party stuff. So, yeah, a lot more options in terms of Pixel and Samsung. No, can you get out of here, please? Reset. Get out of here. Thank you. What else? I feel like I'm trying to... I had a bunch of things in my head when I started this video, and now I forgot them. Oh, you know what? One thing I don't like that I think a lot of people will overlook. If you hook up a Apple Watch, all three of these apps are automatically downloaded. If you want to delete these apps, you have to unpair your Apple Watch. I think it's the stupidest thing. I don't understand it because my Apple Watch has been dead for months. I haven't used my iPhone in months. It's been between Samsung and Pixel. And I don't know. I think it's just a stupid thing. A lot of people say that there's bloatware, which there is on Samsung, but at least you're kind of able to delete all of the first party. I would say the majority of the first party apps on Samsung, and you don't have to like unpair anything to delete it. So this is a very minor annoyance, but it's an annoyance nonetheless. Because now I have to charge my Apple Watch, unpair it, and then delete the apps. So the fact that there has to be like at least 2 steps, pretty stupid on Apple's part. I don't understand it. Another thing I don't really like is how third-party apps, especially Google, they are very dumbed down. And oops, sorry. I don't really feel like downloading Gboard, but Gboard is a good thing. If you're coming from Samsung or Pixel, Gboard is pretty awesome over there. You download it on your iPhone. It's the stupidest thing ever. It's very limited on purpose. I think because Apple, maybe they don't want people to use Gboard and use a third-party app instead of their first-party keyboard, which makes no sense. I don't understand it. I don't know. I don't know what else I could talk about. Dang it, I had some pretty cool. Shoot, dead air. It's dead air again. Oh, I guess I'll kind of just piggyback. Another thing that I don't like is not having a dedicated news tab right here, like on the Samsungs and the Pixels. It's something I find a little convenient when I just want to see what's going on in the world. Right now, it's just unfortunately filled with politics. But there was a time when my algorithm was all tech stuff, which I need to get back into. Just politics of today is just so mind-numbing and exhausting. I need to get it out of my daily life. What is this? Google Pixel getting dedicated now playing app. What is this? Oh, yeah, now playing. That's pretty cool. It's getting its own app. Oh, nice. This is one of the things that's pretty much perfected on the Pixels. It's still a little buggy at times. It kind of goes away every now and then. But when it is working, it works pretty flawlessly. And on the iPhones, it's pretty non-existent. All they have is Shazam, and they have this search sound search function here. Both of them suck, like terribly. In my store, we have music playing, and sometimes I would go to the loudest playing areas in the store, and I would use Shazam, and sometimes it doesn't even register it. I use my Pixel now playing, and it finds it pretty immediately. So yeah, I think kind of just to end this video, because I'm not really sure what else to talk about. I think overall iPhones are pretty great. I think if you're already in the ecosystem, yeah, there's no point in switching over. They're very solid phones. But if you have the money to spare, like $200-300 and get a cheap Samsung or a cheap Pixel just to check out their OS and how things function over there, I think it's a pretty important thing to kind of just like try out, just to see what the competition has to offer. And you know what, I gotta say, you know what, I'll end it here on a good part for Apple that I think a lot of people criticized and made fun of. The action button, I think, is very cool when it works. As you could see, you had to press it pretty much twice to kind of like, I guess, wake it up. I'm not entirely sure. So I have it set for my oh boy, flashlight, and of course you got the dedicated camera button, camera control here that a lot of people again aren't very fond of. I get it. Having it right here is pretty awkward, but I think having small hands kind of comes in handy on this moment, or at this for the particular camera control. It's something I kind of wish Pixel would copy, just because they're very limited in terms of their power button only being able to be used once to open the camera, and holding it down opens Gemini, which I don't really use ever. Actually, I don't use at all. And then if I press it 5 times, the emergency options come up, and that's pretty much it. So I kind of make fun of sometimes for Apple having 5 freaking buttons on their phone, but after using them, I think that's pretty great. Samsung, not so much. I have my S25 programmed double tap is open camera. Hold down for about 2 to 3 seconds, opens the flashlight. So I'm pretty good in terms of Samsung, just because you could kind of play around with it for with good lock, which is a nice little feature in on a Samsung's part to keep that going. But overall, I think the iPhones are still pretty great. I think they're still pretty good options. The only thing that sucks about them is that their value stays pretty high in terms of over the years that go by. I think like iPhone 14 Pros are still pretty expensive for how old they are. So yeah, that's the only sucky thing about iPhones. I think this is why I would recommend Pixels for teenagers, for first time phone buyers, senior folks, stuff like that. I would stick away from iPhones just so you could save a little bit of money. But yeah, I think that's it. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if I didn't really talk about anything. I feel like I didn't really talk about anything at all. I feel like I just talked about nonsense. But yeah, this is it. This is my 16 Pro Max. I'm probably going to wait until the 20th anniversary iPhone to come out, see what that is all about, to upgrade. Otherwise, I think this could last me like at least another 5 years. There's zero wrong with it. Yeah, and the battery is still pretty fantastic. It lasts me a solid day from 3 a.m. when I wake up to about 8 p.m. when I go to bed. I'm still like in the 30 range, depending on how much I use it. 40 at the highest. Which is still pretty great. But yeah, I think, again, overall, pretty solid phone. I think people out there, I would say upgrade every 2 to 5 years is a good little window to upgrade your phones, especially iPhones, because they're so very, I would say consistently good in terms of as the years go by. So that's that. I'll end it here because I feel myself just rambling and not really adding much to this video. So for anyone watching, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.